Good afternoon, students, and welcome to this session. Please tell me, can you all hear me? By the show of hands, show me if you can hear me.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, all. Tonight, we'll be doing some exam preparation. We'll be going through some multiple choice questions that I set up on my own. So please wait a moment while I upload my slides. Thank you. Please give me indication by the show of hands if my slide's visible to you, students. All right, thank you. Do not forget to enter your student number in the chat function, please. Let's start with our exam preparation tonight. We're just going to do some multiple choice questions, and I also want to know what your understanding is of certain terms. All right. Let's just look at the first question. The first question, yes, student. All right. Let's look at the first question. It is, learning design should be based on theories. Why should it be based on theories? Is it because, one, it provides a basis for how people learn, or two, there are different learning theories, three, it helps with curriculum planning and teaching methodologies and strategies, or it offers a framework to help understand how information is used, or is it all of the above? Anyone? What do you think? What is the appropriate answer to that question? Remember, we're talking about learning design here. Right. Danae, would you like to start for us? Georgia says all of the above. What do you say, Danae? Colleen, what do you think would be the appropriate answer be?
I would also say all of the above.
All right. Thank you. Colin? Daniel Poetis? What did your answer be? Is it Melandri? Is Melandri in this session?
Hello?
Hi, good day, Melandri. What would you say would be the appropriate answer to this question?
All of the above.
All of the above, all right. Evelyn, what do you think? Akila says all of the above. Why do you say it's all of the above, students? Why can't it just be that it provides a basis for how people learn? Colin, why do you think it's all of the above?
It's just because it encompasses all that it says there. It provides a basis for how people learn. There are different learning theories that you need to take into consideration. It helps with your curriculum planning, and it offers as a framework to help understand how information is used.
All right, thank you. Danae, do you agree with her? Is that why you say it's all of the above?
Yes, I completely agree.
All right, thank you. So just tell me quickly, what is the different learning theories? Can you name the different learning theories, students? In one of our sessions, we discussed 4 different types of learning theories.
Behaviorism and constructivist theory.
All right, thank you. That's 2 theories. Anyone else like to add to that? Thank you, Colleen.
Critical and social theory.
Critical and social. Danae, thank you for that.
I would say cognitive learning theory.
Cognitive learning theory, yes. Anyone else would like to add to that?
Multiple intelligences.
Yes, thank you, correct. Now, just tell me, teaching methodologies. What is teaching methodologies and teaching strategies? Tanil Portis, what do you think? Melandri, what do you think? What is teaching methodologies and teaching strategies? Akila. Come, students. This is supposed to be an interactive session. What is teaching methodologies and teaching strategies?
It's the different ways you use to get the information across to the children by engaging with them and providing them with activities and interactive ways of getting them to grasp the concepts and the skills.
All right, thank you, Colin. Evelyn, would you like to add to that? Martinez, are you in the session? All right, I don't think so. Yes, students, so question 1, that's correct if you say it's all of the above. Thank you. Let's move on to question 2. All right, behaviorist theory. Who developed the behaviorist theory? Was it Vygotsky, Stenhouse, Freire, Skinner, or Piaget?
For Skinner.
Skinner. Why do you say it was Skinner? Anyone else differ with that answer? Danae?
No, ma'am, we agree with her answer.
All right. Okay. So So what did Vygotsky believed in? Seeing that you agree with Skinner.
He believed that behavior is learned.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add to that theory of Vygotsky?
It was done in a social context.
Social context. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Danae, what do you think? Akila?
So yeah, Skinner's one refers to like the method of learning that is influenced by giving rewards for good and bad behavior, or like punishing bad behavior and rewarding good behavior, where Vygotsky's Vygotsky is more about sorry, I just lost the word that I was looking for now, but that's Skinner's one.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Danae. Colin? Do you agree that it was Skinner that developed the behaviorist theory?
Yes, I do.
All right, you do. Thank you, Akila. Come on, students. What did Piaget believe in? Anyone?
He believed that organism is actively involved, so you determine your own development.
Thank you. Correct. And Freire, what did he believe in? Come on, students. Right. Melandri, what do you think? Evelyn? All right, we can come back to this question later on. Okay. So, by who was the behavioral objectives of a curriculum presented? Do you have again a choice between Vygotsky, Piaget, Steinhaus, Taylor, and Brenner? Come, students. Remember, this is the theorist that presented the behavioral objectives of curriculum evaluation. It differs from the previous question.
Well, it's not Vygotsky or Piaget, so it must be one of the other three, but I don't.
Okay, must I give you all a minute to think about it? Danae, what do you say? Who do you think? Who presented it?
I don't know.
All right. Daniel Boertes. Students. Akila?
Ma'am, I'm
Yes.
going through my notes, but I literally can't find his name anywhere. I don't know even where to begin with this question.
All right. Look in your study guide, your material you received. All right, I'll come back to question number 3. Let's move on. What factors affect the development of the curriculum? Do you think it's curriculum design, the foundations of the curriculum evaluation, elements of a curriculum, or the curriculum assessment? Remember, here we talk about the factors that affect the development of the curriculum. Hi, Dorothy, you here? Let me ask you, what is curriculum design, students?
It's how you design your curriculum, what you put into it.
All right, thank you for that. So what do you think is the foundations of a curriculum?
It's everything that holds the curriculum together. It's like the strong point.
All right, thank you. Colin, what do you think is the foundations of the curriculum?
Isn't that like the lesson plan, the teaching aids, the learners and teachers activities, the content and the assessments, those 5 aspects that could be included in a curriculum?
That's included in a curriculum, yes. But what is the basics of a curriculum? That is the foundations of the curriculum. Dorothy, would you like to tell me what is the foundations of the curriculum, of a curriculum? Akila, what do you think? All right, skip that. What is curriculum evaluation? What do we do when we evaluate the curriculum, students?
Is that maybe not our reflection on how we administered a lesson to the children?
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you, Colin. Anyone would like to add to that answer of curriculum evaluation?
So if it is the reflection, there's 3 types of reflection, which is reflection in action, reflection on action, and reflection for action. For action.
All right. So would you like to explain to us the different types of reflections?
So the reflection in action is while one is like busy engaging in the exercise.
Yes, correct.
And I can give an example that was in the textbook. Just give me a second.
Okay.
So in action refers to while one is busy engaging in the practice. A good teacher is continuously engaging in self-talk. For example, clearly they don't seem to get the content that I'm explaining to them. How else can I explain it to them? So that would be in action. Then reflecting or reflection on the action is where the teacher is seen as a practitioner and will she reviews her teaching experience afterwards. For example, looking back, what can I change? What didn't work? What did work? And then reflection. What was the last one? Reflection for action refers to planning and being able to think ahead about what you might encounter or anticipate, and having a plan for if that does happen.
All right, thank you. So curriculum evaluation has to do with when you as a teacher evaluate your curriculum plan in your classroom, right? So what is the elements of a curriculum?
Is that maybe the different subjects and the contents that you're going to teach?
That is part of it, yes, part of the elements of a curriculum. Anyone else? What do you think? What is the elements of the curriculum, students? All right, you always start with a goal or focus in mind. So what will the rest of the elements be?
Hi, maybe ways to achieve that goal, like how you would do your lesson plan, how long it would take you to do it, what methods you'd use to achieve this goal.
All right, thank you. That's part of it, yes. Thank you. Dana, would you like to add to that? The elements of a curriculum?
Teaching philosophy.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Danielle. What do you think? All right. So the elements of the curriculum then would be for you as a teacher, the goal or the focus that you have in mind. All right. The planning you have done, the development, the way you implemented it, and when you evaluate it, then you report on your evaluations. And the last thing you'll do is to reflect on it. So let's look at number 5, curriculum assessment. What is curriculum assessment?
It's the activities and assessments you do with the children to see if they have achieved the goal.
Right, yes. What types of assessment do we do in our classrooms?
Summative and formative.
Correct, summative and formative, thank you. Tell me when will you do a summative assessment with the learners?
I can't remember exactly, but I'm not sure. One is done at the end of a learning unit and one is done continuously. I can't remember which one is which.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Danae, what do you think? When do you do a formative assessment
So your formative
and
assessment
summative?
is
Yeah.
the informal assessment method. That's that happens during the process, like during the activity.
Yeah.
And then the summative assessment is a formal type of assessment, which is like a test, normally happening at the end of a learning unit or at the end of the year.
Yes, correct. Thank you, students. So what do you think? To come back to the question, what factors affect the development of a curriculum? Which one of the 5?
Number 5, I'd say.
You say number 5, the assessment. All right. Anyone else differ? Melandri, what do you think? Dorothy, you here?
Shame, I think her mic's not working.
Oh, right.
I think it's the elements of a curriculum. Number 4.
Number 4. All right. Thank you. Danielle Boetes, what do you think? Evelyn? Yes, student.
Yeah, thanks. I would say that it's number 3, because I think once you've evaluated the curriculum, that's when it develops. Once you've decided that it doesn't meet the requirements, and it then develops into something different.
All right, thank you. I'm speaking to?
It's Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
I've been undercover. Yeah, I've been undercover for the moment, but yeah, I'm here.
All right. Thank you for that, Melissa. Anyone else? What do you think? What is the most appropriate answer to that question? All right. Colin, what do you think? Akila? All right, I'm going to differ, students. The most appropriate answer here is the foundations of the curriculum, because if you don't have the right foundations to start with your curriculum, okay, the development of the curriculum will not flow smoothly through the different stages. All right. Anyone disagree with me? Can we move on, students? Danae, can we move on? Colleen?
Yes, you can, but it's a very interesting question, because curriculum design will also affect the development of the curriculum, as well as the evaluation and the elements that is in the curriculum. So in a way, all those has their, like all of those factors plays a role within the curriculum, because if you look at the design of the curriculum, if the design is not right, then the curriculum will be faulty. Same with the foundation, like you said, if the foundation isn't right, then the curriculum will be faulty. But like the elements involved, like of the curriculum, if they don't have the right elements, same, the same thing will happen. So it is a quite, like, if you will, like a higher order question, because you need to really think about each one.
Yes, definitely. That's why I asked you in the beginning just to give me a brief description of all of the answers there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Colleen, would you like to add to that?
No, all good, thanks.
All right. Akila, would you like to add? Evelyn, Melissa? All right. Let's continue. All right. Which description should base the experiences that's organized by a school when they develop a curriculum? Is it phase curriculum, the subject curriculum, school curriculum, teacher curriculum, or is it all of the above? What do you think?
I would say
Remember,
number 5.
excuse me,
I would say number 5.
number 5, all of the above. All right. Thank you, Colin. Danae, what do you think? What did you say?
I don't know. I think it's between phase curriculum or subject curriculum. I might be wrong, because school curriculum, normally all schools have the same curriculum if we're looking at public schools. And like you said in the previous classes, the curriculum, teacher's curriculum, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking into it too deep, but the teacher can't necessarily change the curriculum because it's a set thing.
Yes, you're quite correct. They can't change it. Thank you, Danae. So anyone like to explain to me what phase curriculum means? Is phase curriculum and subject curriculum the same? How does it differ?
Isn't phase the age group, like foundation phase is grade R to grade 3 and intermediate is grade 4 to grade 7 or 6 or whatever. So isn't that what phase curriculum is?
Yes, correct. Different phases. Thank you. What is subject curriculum, students?
My take on subject curriculum is the content in the subject that you want to cover each year. And it's not age, like across phases, it's age appropriate for each grade.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Danae. Anyone else would like to add to subject curriculum? Ilse, would you like to add to that?
Isn't subject like your life skills, your language, and your mathematics?
Yes, of course, your different subjects you have in a school curriculum. Daniel Boertes, what do you think? Would you like to add a subject curriculum? All right. Tell me how will we evaluate and moderate a subject curriculum?
You will look whether the outcomes were achieved when you're doing your final or your one of the formal assessments. and also like subject curriculum includes like the theme and the content and the skills. Yeah, and like, so by you can do it both informal or formal assessment. So by asking the students, because like subject curriculum isn't necessarily just the subject, but it also contains the content that's inside there. Because looking at all four of them, subject curriculum will be the smallest area, and then it will be phase above that.
Yes, thank you, Danae. Akila, would you like to add to that? Melissa, would you like to add?
In answering the question, I would think that the obvious answer should be 3, the school curriculum. But I'm not 100% sure what you mean by experiences organized by a school.
All right.
Is that
so
activities like a carnival, or is that what you're referring to?
no, not. It has to do with educational experiences.
So if you can give an example, I'd appreciate it.
All right. Now, first tell me, what is your understanding of a school curriculum?
That is what is done. Of the 4 that you've set out there, I would say that is the broadest of the lot. So that would be the entire teacher body that would, or possibly then just at a like beheerliggaam, I don't know how to say that, at a
Yes. SGB?
Yeah, well, not the governing body, but the teachers that are on the
SMT? You're talking about the SMT?
What does that stand for? The school, yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly right. That they would develop that, and that would then be across the entire school, irrespective of the phase or the subjects or which particular teacher it relates to.
All right, yes, thank you. I'll get back to you now. So what is a teacher curriculum, students?
That's your individual planning that you plan as teachers to get your content across to your learners.
All right, thank you. So will you agree with Melissa on the answer of school curriculum? Daniel, do you agree with the answer of school curriculum or not?
I'm not sure. I'm stuck between 3 and 4.
Is it okay? Why are you stuck between 3 and 4?
Because the experience that it sounds like you were explaining was more like something the teacher would do. So I'm just not I'm not sure.
Okay, remember, if you look at the questions, experiences that's organized by the school. Okay, if you look at the word school, do you think it will be teacher curriculum then? Danae?
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
Okay. If you look at the question, I asked the experiences that's organized by a school. Okay. If you look at the word school as a whole, would you say it's the teacher curriculum that we look at here?
Well, no, because we're looking at a school.
All right. So what is the so what do you think, what is the most appropriate answer then if you look at the wording of the question?
That would be the school curriculum, but each individual school doesn't have their own curriculum, because all public schools fall under CAPS, correct?
Yes, correct.
And they need to stick with that curriculum.
Yeah.
Where
And
private schools got EIB or whatever they follow, and you still need to, well, they've got more freedom to play around with the curriculum like we are doing. But I know UNISA is looking at like mostly public schools. So yeah, it's difficult for me to see, because school curriculum, it shouldn't say school, it then should say the CAPS.
the CAPS curriculum, all right?
Yes, and the CAPS curriculum will be the experience, will be the experience that's like what you call your question. The experience is organized by the school is called, and that would be CAPS, because they regulate most of the things that the school do anyways.
All right. Thank you for that. Anyone agree with Danae?
May I disagree with Danae? I think that
Yes, you may.
I think the school does have, within the CAP setup, I think the school still has scope to, I mean, not every school does exactly the same thing. So within the context of CAPS, there's still scope for the school to decide, well, they're going to go in this direction in terms of educational experiences then. I mean, I don't know if that would include things like running a debating. I'm not, yeah, Portia, I don't know if you can maybe just explain a little bit more what those experiences entail, then I think I'd be able to express myself better. But I do think that the school has got scope to develop their own way within the CAPS within CAPS itself.
And I completely agree with you. They do have, but there is limitations.
All right. Anyone else?
But
Colleen, would you like to add to that? Yeah.
That's why I said all of the above, because when you are planning for experiences for your learners in your school, the teacher, the subject head, the phase head, and sometimes the board get on board as well to decide whether they agree or disagree with the kinds of experiences that you are going to plan for your children.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Colleen. Melandri, would you like to add to what the student just said? All right, Melissa, when the school do planning for school, you're quite right in saying they can decide on what they want to implement in their school curriculum, because they review the policy documents. Okay, they make use of the document policy, including the CAPS document. All right, they make use of assessment policies and the NCS. What does NCS stand for, students? This was the curriculum we used prior to CAPS.
It stands for National Curriculum Statement.
All right, thank you. And so when we plan for schools, all right, we also identify the promotion and progression requirements, all right? We also follow the provincial requirements, as well as district and school requirements. All right, that is now when we plan for a school curriculum. All right, and there is certain logistics which will have an impact on the curriculum. All right, so that will include your staff members. It will include the timetables, the resources, and also the development of your staff, the type of training you will give them that is CAPS aligned. All right. It also involves your class sizes and the work allocation. Right. So then CAPS requirements, all right, for assessment also plays a role in school curriculum development. Does that answer your question, Melissa?
Yes, thank you. It does. It's not what I thought, but it makes complete sense now. What you mean, the way you've now just worded it.
All right. So tell me, do you have a different answer as the previous one to this question?
I stick with number 3.
Thank you. That is correct. Number 3 is the school curriculum. All right. And it involves all that I've mentioned now previously. That is why it's the school curriculum. Danae, do you want to add to that? Do you want to say anything? Do you disagree?
No, I agree.
All right, you agree. Now, Colleen?
I'll agree with you.
All right. Melissa, Melandri? All right, let's move on to our next question. Okay. What does a planned curriculum refers to? Does it refer to, number 1, teaching and learning methodologies, the role of the teacher in the classroom, the blueprint for teaching, assessment and evaluation, or teacher and learner cooperation? What does the planned curriculum refers to, the curriculum?
Ma'am, I would say it's number 3.
Why do you say it's number 3?
I honestly have no idea. I just feel it's number 3.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. Ilse, what do you think? What does a planned curriculum refer to? Colin, what do you think? Akila?
Hi. I think we can rule out number 2 and number 5, but the other 3 are pretty similar, so it's a bit tricky there. Like the blueprint makes sense because it's what you need to follow, and the other 2 are also options. I'm just putting in my 2 cents.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, let's just discuss the role of the teacher in the classroom. What is the role of the teacher in the classroom, students?
Facilitator, mediator.
Yes, correct. Thank you. So what is assessments and evaluation?
Well, it can be of the lesson or of the curriculum, assessment of the curriculum, whether it works or not, and evaluating the curriculum.
All right, thank you. All right, what is teacher and learner cooperation? Okay, we know now that yes, student.
That the teacher and learner cooperation is the collaboration, working together in order to understand what the outcome is.
Yes, correct. You're correct in saying that. So what is teaching and learning methodologies? Colin, would you like to share your view on teaching and learning methodologies with us, please? Danae, Evelyn? Melissa, what do you think? What is teaching and learning methodologies?
Isn't that perhaps what Colleen was referring to earlier, as all the different ways in which you try and get the message across, the different methodologies that you use in conveying the syllabus?
Yes, yes, correct. So what do you think? What is the correct answer now?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah,
Thank you. Why did you say it's number 3, students? Why do you think it's number 3?
What you intend to get across to your children. It's the context of what the learning is about.
Yes, correct. Thank you for that. Anyone like to add to that?
I think the other options maybe show you how to do it. It's not what exactly needs to be taught.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Melandri, what do you think? Colin? Mandy, why do you think it's number 3? Why do you think the planned curriculum refers to the blueprint for teaching? Danae?
I agree with the answer. It is the blueprint for teaching. It's because it provides the baseline or the basis, the foundation of what needs to be taught. So yeah.
All right. Yes. Correct, students, because a planned curriculum is the curriculum that you're working with, that you must align all your activities with, all your planning with, and the curriculum we use now, it's the CAPS curriculum. All right, so that is the planned curriculum. So the planned curriculum refers to the blueprint for teaching and learning as well. Students, can we just take a 5-minute break quickly and be back here at 7?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
perfect.
Good. Hi, students. By the show of hands, please indicate if you're back in the session. All right, great. Let's continue. Students, my screen still visible to you?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Let's continue. Number 7, I ask you to give a narrow description of the curriculum as a concept. All right. Does it entail a list of concepts to be learned, organization of facts, learning and teaching, teacher interpretation, or is it all of the above? All right. Does it have to do with the teacher's interpretation?
I think it's number 1, ma'am.
Number 1. Why do you think it's number 1, student?
Ma'am, I don't have an answer for you on that.
All right. All right. Thank you. So what is your understanding then of teacher interpretation?
It's about how the teacher understands to give a lesson and how he or she interprets the curriculum.
All right. Thank you. So now you know that is not what a narrow description of curriculum is. So anyone else, what do you think? What is the appropriate answer to that question?
I agree with Ursula. I think if you're making a distinction between the narrow and the broad description of curriculum, then narrow would be limited to 1 in this list. And possibly if you were looking at the broad description, you could use 5 as the answer for all of the above.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you, student. Anyone else that differ? Colin, what do you think?
I agree with them.
All right. Danae?
So I'm just looking at the concept curriculum.
All right.
So it includes the syllabus, the intended curriculum, then acted curriculum as a practice, converted curriculum, hidden curriculum, and assessed curriculum. So I also agree that it's a list of concepts to be learned.
All right. Thank you. Anyone that disagree? Akila, do you agree with him? Thank you. Evelyn says is number 1. Colin, Akila, do you agree with the students? Or do you disagree with him? Danielle Boertes? What do you think is the appropriate answer to that question? Melissa?
I agree with 1.
With 1. All right, why do you agree with 1? Ilse, what do you think is the most appropriate answer to that question? Ilse says number 1, right? Okay, Mandy also agrees with number 1. So, what do you think? What do you think is the organizational facts? If you look at it in a curriculum sense. Melandri, what do you think? Anyone? Danae, what do you think?
I don't know, sorry.
All right. Colleen, do you want to take a try?
Well, I suppose facts could be concepts that we want to teach the children. It could be that one.
Yes, Colleen, you're quite right. It's the fact. It's the concepts we teach children in our classroom. So the narrow description of the curriculum is number 1, the list of concepts to be learned. All right. Anyone disagree with me? All right. Okay, let's look at number 7. Why do you think? Why do we do CAPS? Is it due to underperformance of learners with the previous curriculums? Were the teachers overburdened with administration? Were there complaints about the implementation of the previous curriculums, such as the NCS? Right, and or could it be the different interpretations of the curriculum requirements with the previous curriculums, or is it all of the above?
I say all of the above, ma'am.
All right, thank you for that. Melissa, do you agree with her?
I do agree. I was just actually trying to find, I think that's contained in our tutorial guide where it actually lists all of those as the reason why we've moved from the NCS to CAPS. But
All right.
yeah, I haven't really found it.
Okay, all right, thank you. Melandri, do you agree with all of the above? All right, the reason why we do CAPS is because all of the above, all right? All of the above, that was problematic with the older curriculums, all right? There was problems with the curriculums and it didn't work out as planned. That's why they moved to the CAPS curriculum. All right. So what do you think? What is the outline of topics, of subjects to be covered in a specific time? Is it called a course, a curriculum, a syllabus, a program, or an assessment?
A syllabus.
A syllabus. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Anyone else differ to that answer? Janae, do you agree with her or do you disagree with the student?
Just give me some more time to think
All
about
right,
this
we'll
one,
do
please.
that. All right. Mandy agrees with number 3. Shyam also agrees with number 3.
Ma'am, in our tutorial guide, they say the difference between a curriculum, it's a plan that guides all teaching and learning, and the syllabus is a list of contents for a subject.
All right, so what do you think? What is the appropriate answer?
Ma'am, I don't know. I'm confused at the moment.
All right, all right. Please read that again to me. That's in your course outline.
The difference between a curriculum, it's a plan that guides all teaching and learning, and a syllabus is a list of contents for a subject. So it doesn't say anything about something being covered in a specific time.
All right. Thank you, but just go over sentence number 2, and then you'll find your answer in there. Colleen, what do you think?
Well, basically, an outline of topics of a subject to be covered in a specific time is the CAPS, and the CAPS is the curriculum. So if I was to read what that sentence says to me there, I would say curriculum. An outline of topics of a subject to be covered in a specific time. Well, CAPS is topics that you have to cover in a specific time, and that is the curriculum. So I would say 2.
All right, you'll say 2. Anyone disagree with number 2?
Syllabus is the teacher, the planning that the teacher does, whereas the topics are given in the CAPS document, which is the curriculum.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Melandri, what do you think?
Sorry, I have the definition on page 74, so from a curriculum. So it says a curriculum is a plan for learning or refers to all the learning that is planned and guided as the body of knowledge in order to achieve outcomes. It can also be defined as something given to the teacher to work under. And then a syllabus is a list of contents of a subject.
Yes.
So, and then it says it is evident that the definition of a curriculum is more than the stated aims and syllabus documentation. And then it says what it involves. So to be honest, I don't think it's either of them.
Is that all right? Remember, there's a difference between a curriculum and a syllabus. All right?
Yes.
A curriculum applies to the set of programs. All right? It applies to a set of programs of the institutional education, all right? The school. It is what you teach, to put it in simple terms. It is also the overall content taught, all right, in a school or in an educational system, all right? And it is prescriptive. It is prescriptive, whereas a syllabus is a document, all right? A syllabus is a document that contains all the parts of the concepts that needs to be covered in a subject, all right? And a syllabus is descriptive, and it refers to what needs to be taught, all right? And you have to keep in mind that a syllabus is more specific than a curriculum, all right? Because a curriculum scope is very wide, all right? And a syllabus scope is narrow. That's why we can say that an outline of topics of a subject to be covered in a specific time, it's called a syllabus. All right? Anyone disagree with me on that?
I don't disagree. I just have a question.
Yes.
Because according to me, your syllabus doesn't need to be covered in a specific time.
All right.
Because
yes.
your syllabus can be, like you said, it's very specific,
Yes.
and obviously the teacher can change it. But if the syllabus works, then you can use it for the next year as well in that content area and theme.
Yes, obviously, but remember, your syllabus, I told you previously, your syllabus you can make known to your students so they know what to study and what to expect within a certain time frame.
Okay.
All
I
right.
understand when you're looking at like that, yes.
All right, good. Do you agree, students? Anyone disagree with me? I have a question on that. All right, can we move on?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So just look at the following statements. Which statement best describes the curriculum cycle? Okay. Remember, the curriculum cycle is monitored by the SMT of the school. All right. And you have to choose the correct answer. Do you think it's number 1, where you have the goal first, you plan and develop it, you evaluate, moderate it, you implement it, report on it, and reflect on your findings? Or is it number 2, you have a specific goal in mind? All right. Then you plan, then you implement it. You do your planning and development on it. You evaluate and moderate if the curriculum is working. You report on your findings and you'll reflect. Or is it number 3, where you first reflect, then you determine your goal for the curriculum, you plan and develop it, you implement the curriculum, you evaluate and moderate it, you report on it and reflect. All right. Or is it number 4, which is your goal, planning and development, implementation, evaluation and moderation, or reporting and reflecting? Or is it number 5, the goal, evaluate and moderate it, implementation of it, planning and development, and reporting and reflect on it?
Number 4.
Number 4. All right. Why do you say it's number 4, students? Why do you think it's number 4?
Because it's in the notes you gave to us.
All right. Okay. Janae, do you agree with her?
Yes. You already in this session you said the elements of curriculum, and that those are the ones you gave us in that order. So
All right. So you must know that you use your goals and focus, all right, which you have to base your planning on, okay? Then you will plan and document it. All right. You make use of ongoing observations as well. All right. Will you evaluate and moderate it? Then you will report on your findings. All right. You will look at the original goal and compare it with the current results of your original goal, and you will reflect on it lastly. All right. You will then use the information that you reported on to establish what needs to change within the curriculum, whether it was working or not. So number 4 is a suitable answer. All right. So how many cycles are there within a school context? All right. Remember, we look at different type of curriculums. So how many cycles are there within a school context?
2.
2. All right. Can you explain to me the 2 cycles?
Well, the
Name it.
cycle and the teacher cycle.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
The school curriculum cycle and the teacher curriculum cycle.
All right. Thank you for your answer, ma'am. Anyone disagree with Colleen? Danae, what do you think? How many cycles are there within a school context? Danielle, Melissa, what do you think? Ilse?
I'm not sure what cycles are being referred to.
All right. So, yes.
No, so I don't have any idea.
All
yeah,
right.
that's what I was struggling with as well. That's why I didn't answer, because I'm not sure about which cycles.
All right. Remember, when I asked this question, I told you to keep in mind that there's different curriculums, and that is the different curriculum cycles I'm talking about. Like Colleen said, she says there's 2 curriculum cycles. That's the teachers and the schools. Am I correct, Colleen?
Yes.
All right. She says it's the school curriculum and the teacher's curriculum. Do you agree with her that there's only 2 curriculums to follow within a school context? Danae and Melissa, do you have a clearer understanding now?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it on my notes so that I can so I can speak more with more knowledge, because at the moment I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Danae.
Yeah. All right. Danielle? Look at the question in the terms of curriculums. Take out the word cycles. and replace that with the word curriculums. So how many?
So then there's 5.
5. All right. Can you name the 5 curriculum cycles, please?
Is it the official curriculum, hidden curriculum, and those?
That is not the cycles I'm referring to. I'm referring to the type of curriculums that's within a school context. All right, Akila, what do you think? Well, thank you, student, for your input. Ilse, what do you think? How many cycles are there within the school context? How many curriculums? Curriculum cycles.
Can I try and answer?
Yes, you might do that.
I think that if one looks at the previous slide, then I would say 4, because then don't we have the school curriculum, the subject curriculum, the phase curriculum, and the teacher curriculum?
Thank you, student. Danae, do you agree with her or disagree with her? Melandri?
I agree with, is it Melissa?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. There's 4.
All right. Thank you. So students, a suitable answer there is 4 curriculum cycles within a school context. We have the teacher or the educator's curriculum, the subject area or subject curriculum, then you have the phase or the grade curriculum, and most importantly, the school curriculum. All right. When schools implement a new curriculum, what do they look at? What do they look at? Number 1 says support learners, reporting on cycle of learning and teaching, carry out CAPS requirements. If you look at number 2, it says teaching methodologies, data collection, inclusion, classrooms, classroom practice and assessment. And number 3, it says concentrate on the goal and focus of the school. Number 4, making decisions with regard to change, upskilling and development, and lastly, comparing results and learners to the original goal or focus you have in mind or had in mind. So what do schools look at when they implement a new curriculum? Right, this is for when you look at implementing a new curriculum. Right, so what will you take into consideration when you implement a new curriculum?
I would think the answer that makes the most sense there is 3. That you
All
would
right.
focus on the goal, concentrate on the goal and the focus of the school.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. Who disagrees with Melissa? And Colin, what do you think?
I agree with Melissa.
All right, thank you. Danae?
I am torn between number 3 and then also which one was it? Like, no, it's not making decisions. Maybe number 1, support learners, reporting on the cycle. Oh, no, I don't know. I do not know.
All right. Thanks for trying. Thank you, Danielle.
But I think if we're guessing, then 3 is a good one to go to.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Danae. Akila, what do you think? Ilse, Evelyn, what do you think? Remember, it has to do with implementation of a curriculum. All right. Look at number 1. It says support learners reporting on cycle of learning and teaching, carrying out CAPS requirements. Do you think that is what the school must look at when they want to implement a curriculum?
Well, they would be, for example, if you're carrying out CAPS requirements, why would you then be looking at a new curriculum?
Thank you, Danae. Correct, thank you. If you look at number 2, teaching methodologies, data collection, inclusion in classroom practice and assessment. Do you think that is a suitable answer?
I think it is in the top of the ones that can stand or can be the right answer, because you need to look at the teaching methodologies, which is quite important, and the inclusion in the classroom practice and assessment. I'm just not too sure about data collection, because data collection I feel fall more under mathematics.
All right, thank you. Anyone else that disagree with Danae? Tell me, students, can everyone see my slides? Or Ilse, can you see my slides now? All right, still not. All right, if you look at number 5, do you think number 5 will be a suitable answer?
I think it can be, because if you're comparing the results from the curriculum that you have and the one that you want to implement, if you're looking at the two and comparing the results and the goals that you want the students to focus on. So I do think that is one that can be correct.
All right, thank you. Melandri, do you agree with her? that number 5 would be a suitable answer. All right, students, if we look at number 1, support learners reporting on cycle, carry out CAPS requirements. All right, that normally has to do with the evaluation and the moderation, all right, of the cycle or of the curriculum. When we look at teaching methodologies, the data collection and inclusion of classroom practice and the assessment, all right, that normally has to do with the implementation of the curriculum. When you want to implement the curriculum, you must make sure that you have all that in place, the correct teaching methodologies, the inclusion in your classroom practice, the assessments must be in place, the data that you collected. And then number 3, concentrate on the goal and focus of the school. That normally has to do with the goal or the focus that the school have in mind when they develop the curriculum. Remember, the school's goal will focus on the school mainly. The teacher's goal is to focus on the lesson of the class and to focus on the learners in the classroom. If you look at the goal for subject curriculum, the goal is to focus on the subject, only to focus on the subject, all right? And when you do phase or grade curriculum planning, the goal is to focus on the grade. All right. And number 4, making decisions with regards to change, upskilling and development. That has to do with the reflection when you reflect on the curriculum, whether it worked or not. And when you compare the results of the learners or the learners to the curriculum or to the goal or the focus you have in mind, that is normally when you do your reporting. All right. So number 2 would be the most suitable answer. Your teaching methodologies, data collection, inclusion of classroom practice, and the assessment. Right, are you clear on that now, students? You still there?
Yep.
All right, let's continue. Let's move on to number 13. Why do we differentiate content? Is it to provide access to learning, to motivate learners, to promote effective learning for all learners, to provide success experiences to all learners, or is it all of the above? What do you think?
That one is definitely all of the above. There can't be another answer.
All right, thank you. Do you all agree with that? Shyam also says number 5. Colin, what do you think?
I'm still reading them through.
All right. Danae, do you have an answer for me yet? Or a possible answer to the question?
I think it is 5, all of the above. And then if it's not all of the above, then it's number 3, to promote effective learning for all learners. Because when you differentiate, content is like to teach, if I'm understanding it correctly, is to teach or change your teaching method to suit the different learning styles. So I would say, if not 5, then 3.
All right, so you're undecided still.
Yes. Listen, I'm a very indecisive person, so multiple choice questions isn't my strong suit. That's why I like writing, and Adele know that I'll write a page for a 4-point question. So yeah.
All right, all right. Thank you, Renee. Right, Colin, you ready for me with an answer yet? Colin, what do you think?
Say number 3.
You say number 3. Why do you think it's number 3?
Well, because you differentiate your content because you want to promote learning for all learners, so you want to include them all. I don't think it has to do with providing access to learning to motivate your learners or to provide successful experience for your learners. It's to promote effective learning for all learners. So it's basically inclusivity.
All right. Thank you for that. Anyone disagree with Colin's answer? All right. Yes.
I don't disagree, because I also said 3, but I do think 4 is also valid. That's why, because I mean, when you're promoting or when you're differentiating the content, in a way, it does provide success for all the learners, because I mean, you're providing different ways for them to grasp the concept that you're explaining or teaching. So yeah, that's why I really think all of the above, but motivation and provide access to learning, maybe that's just the add-on. I don't know, because it does motivate learners if you teach like the concept in a different way. I don't know, like when you say why do we differentiate content? What do you mean by differentiate? Is it teaching them in different ways? So adjusting your teaching methods to their learning styles, or what do you exactly mean by differentiate?
All right. Remember, we're working with a diverse group of learners in our classroom. So we said in our teaching methodologies, all right, we will include all the learners in our classroom. So that has to do with differentiating the content so that all the learners understand the content.
Okay, so then I agree with Colleen. It will promote effective learning for all the learners.
All right. Thank you for that. Danielle?
I think number 3.
You also think number 3. Thank you. Melissa, you say number 5. Is that correct?
I'm going to stick with number 5 because I do think that the others automatically come from differentiating. So once you've promoted effective learning, you've motivated the learners, you have provided success experiences, and they all have access to the learning which they wouldn't have had you not differentiated the content.
Yes, correct. Thank you for that. Students, are the most appropriate answer to that question will be number 5, because remember, we want to include all the learners in our classroom with the different learning styles with the different barriers to learning. So therefore, I would say that we provide access to learning for all the learners in our classroom. All right. We also motivate the learners by differentiating the content. We also promote effective learning for all learners through differentiation of teaching styles and methodologies. We also provide successful experience to all learners, because remember, when you differentiate content, you will give different activities to different to learners with different functioning levels. All right, so you will include all of them, and all of them will gain successful experiences at the end of the day by differentiating the content. So that's why I say it's all of the above. Do you have any question for me on that, or do you agree with number 5 now, students? Danielle? Colleen?
Agree, ma'am.
Danae?
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. Colin, Akila, Ilse. All right, let's continue. Now, at what level do we differentiate the content? Is it through abstractness, complexity, variety, or is it number 1 and 2, or is it all of the above?
Ma'am, can you just please tell me where in the study guide I might read more about this question, because I honestly have no idea where these things are in the book and I'm feeling quite overwhelmed at the moment.
Is that all right? This is not in your study guide, but you're doing differentiation, curriculum differentiation in your module.
Well, it's definitely number 1, 2, and 3, abstractness, complexity, and variety. So if I was to give an answer to this question, number 4 is 1 and 2, and number 5 is all of the above. So I would say number 5, because it is definitely 1, 2, and 3, and number 4 says 1 and 2. So I would say number 5.
Okay, so how do you differentiate on that levels?
Well, it says here abstractness depends on the learner's level of functioning. Complexity, curriculum aspects can be complex, difficult to understand for some learners. Variety, inclusion requires us to expand the curriculum to cater for all learners' levels.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you, Colin. Danae, do you agree with her?
I do agree with her. Colleen, can you please tell me where did you read that now?
I read it off Portia's lesson the last time that I was online with her.
Oh, okay, so it was covered in the class. Okay, all good. I'll go look at those now.
All right.
Thank you.
Melissa. All right, Melissa.
Pleasure.
Do you agree with it?
that? I do agree with that.
All right. All right. So it's all of the above. So if we look at abstractness, it's like, oh, Colleen explained, eh? Is it Colleen?
Yes, abstractness depends on the learner's level of functioning.
Thank you.
Complexity, curriculum aspects can be complex, difficult to understand for some learners, and variety, inclusion requires us to expand the curriculum to cater for all of the learners' levels.
That's correct. Thank you for that. So that one is all of the above. Let's move on to number 15. What are the 2 key dimensions of learning environment? Is it classroom culture and interpersonal cooperation, barriers to learning and inclusion, social and physical factors, psychological, learning and physical environmental factors, or is it all of the above? I'll give you a minute to think about it.
I'd say number 4.
Number 4. Thank you. Why do you say number 4, Colleen?
Actually, hold on, let me just read it again and then I'll come back to you.
All right, sure. Danae?
No, Portia, you need to forget my name for this session. I can't help you.
All right. Then I'll ask Neil. Neil, we looking here at a classroom organization or environment, all right, that everyone can use. Melissa, what do you think?
I'm leaning towards 5 because I think all of those dimensions have an impact on the learning environment.
All right, thank you. Melandri? What do you think, Akila? Colin? Please share with me, students. Remember, you want to make the learning environment conducive to all. Okay, so does it have to do with the classroom culture and interpersonal cooperation? Does it have to do with the barriers to learning and the inclusion? The social and physical factors? Or is it the psychosocial learning and physical environment that we're looking at?
I would have guessed psychological and physical, which is not an option here.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, remember, students, the learning environment I'm talking about is the setting where the learning occurs. All right. And you must always keep in mind that it does not only refer to the physical classroom, all right? But it also includes the characteristics of the settings. So what do you think is the most appropriate answer now?
It's quite an interestingly put question because the question asks for 2 key dimensions. And if we say all of the above, there are about 6 or 7 dimensions there.
Yes, correct. So which 2 do you think is the most appropriate?
Hi, I think it's the classroom culture and interpersonal cooperation.
All right. Would you mind explain to me why you think it's a classroom culture?
Okay, so classroom culture could come from the teacher, from the environment that the teacher lays out for the kids. And interpersonal cooperation is also, again, from, like, it's broader than just what the students are experiencing. I think it's like the relationship now between the teacher and the students. Yeah.
All right.
I would say number 4.
Number 4. Why do you think it's number 4?
Because that covers this physical environment, covers the classroom space, the infrastructure, the desks, the furniture, and the psychosocial learning environment covers the social factors of the learners and their psychological, their feelings, their emotions, and that kind of thing.
All right, thank you. Students, so number 4 is the most suitable answer, because if you look at the psychosocial learning environment, all right, that covers the psychosocial, psychological and social factors, all right. And if you look at the physical environment, it includes your classroom space, the classroom infrastructure, the arrangement of your furniture. So looking at it that way, number 4 will be the most appropriate answer to the question. All right. Do any of you differ, have a question on that?
I just want to ask, is that because of the word 2 key dimensions that's in the question?
Yes, correct. 2 key dimensions, and that is the most important two key dimensions. All right, because if you look at psychosocial, like I've said, it includes the psychological and social factors of your learners. All right, it has to do with their health, well-being, and the ability to perform in class. And like the physical, it has to do with your classroom space.
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, well, I would have thought that 1, 2, and 3 are taken up in 4.
Yes.
I mean, is that right? You're not excluding what's in 1, 2, and 3. You're just saying
Yes.
because it's, because of psychosocial that already encompasses most of what's in 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
That's why 4 is the answer.
Yes, because psychosocial includes the interpersonal cooperation of learners, the culture of the class, and the effective communication there is in classroom. So that's why number 4. Psychosocial learning includes all of the above. That's right.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Anyone else have a question for me? All right, then I want to say thank you, students, for tonight, and good luck with your exam preparations. Students, so can you see it's not very easy to answer multiple choice questions. All right. So when you get multiple choice questions, you must understand the content of the module. All right. So it's not just about choosing an answer. And when you do get multiple choice questions, please read through your questions carefully and look out for words that can direct you to the answer of the question.
Sorry, Portia, can you
Yes.
go back to number 3? We didn't get an answer on that one because we couldn't decide.
Let me go to number 3 quickly. Let me just go up. Thank you for reminding me, Colleen. Number 3. Number 3.
It was both 2 and 3.
All right, let's move to number 2 quickly. Behaviorist theory. Who developed the behaviorist theory? Remember, this is the one that developed the theory, the behaviorist theory. And what does behaviorist theory say? What is behaviorist theory? What is the definition of it? What do you understand? Remember, this is a very common theory.
Was this the positive reinforcement one where there was a response to the stimuli? Wasn't this Skinner?
Skinner. Thank you. You say Skinner. Thank you, Colin. I'll keep that in mind. Anyone else refer to that? Danae, what do you think? Danielle?
I agree with Skinner.
All right. Anyone else disagree with Skinner?
No, I agree as well, Skinner, because I thought it might be Vygotsky, but Vygotsky is just the social, learning through social, all those. So it's not a Vygotsky, it's definitely Skinner.
Yes, and this is the most common theory teachers make use of in the classroom, because this tool allows you to practice behavior management in your classroom. All right, so it is Skinner, and Skinner he made use of rewards. All right, to reward learners or students. So that is the theorist that came up with the behaviorist theory. So in this next question, I ask you the behavioral objectives of a curriculum evaluation was presented by who was it presented? Remember, he didn't come up with a behaviorist theory. All right. This theorist he only evaluated the behavioral objectives of this theory. So now we know it's not Skinner, so who do you think?
Is it Stenhouse?
Stenhouse, all right. Why do you think it's Stenhouse?
I'm still busy reading up on why.
All right, sure. Daniel, what do you think?
I'm not sure, but I think it's 4, but I don't have a reason.
You think it's 4, all right. Thank you. Melissa?
It says here that Tyler assumed that the ultimate purpose of schooling is learning and the curriculum should be designed so that effective learning can take place. Oh, he considered that educational decisions are made objectively, primarily by experts with specialized knowledge. So there you go. Objective. So it must be smaller than number 4.
Number 4, all right. Thank you for that. Danae, do you agree with her or do you disagree?
I agree.
All right. Thank you. Melissa, do you agree with her? Daniel?
Yes. Yeah, I agree, but only because I've just spotted something in the textbook that looks like it is Tyler.
Okay, so share that with us, please.
It says, Tyler suggested doing the following when planning a curriculum, and then the bullet point that I think is relevant is determine whether the educational purposes are being attained. Tyler believed that evaluation is needed to assess whether learning experiences have produced the intended results and met the curriculum objectives. The criteria for success should be behavioral evidence from objective instruments such as tests, questionnaires, and word samples. So
yes,
that's got all the words that you've used there. So I would think Tyler.
Yes, thank you. Daniel, do you agree with them?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Why not Brenner? Do you remember Brenner?
No, we don't remember Brenner.
All right, so I'm not going to confuse you. So number 4 is the most suitable answer to the question. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry,
Yes,
Portia.
yes, then I'm listening.
I'm just looking through the series here, and Howard Gardner's also one. Well,
yes. He was for multiple in challenges there?
Yes, but like we haven't touched on him yet. Are we still going to cover theory? Sorry, I'm just having a look and thinking further on like classes, a session. Yeah. Will we still cover this or no?
Yes, we can do him. We see each other again on Thursday,
which is the last one. So I just, I mean, if it's not relevant, then I wouldn't worry. But yeah, I mean, we wouldn't know if they're going to ask anything on that. And have we covered everything or no? Or most?
No, most of it. I must still do curriculum differentiation with you.
Okay.
All right? And touch on lesson planning as well.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Leisure. Thank you, students. So when you do multiple choice questions, look out for keywords, please. And don't just answer. Read through the question twice and then you evaluate your answers before you choose an answer. All right. So thank you very much for tonight, students. If any of you have a problem, you can always send me an email or you can request a one-on-one with me as well. All right. Adele?
Yes, Portia.
All right. Adele, please tell me, did you paste the one-on-one request form on the chat?
Now I've just posted the link to the recordings of all the sessions, and I will now immediately paste the one-on-one session request form.
All right. Thank you. So students, if you have something you're unsure about or do not understand, you can always request a one-on-one session with me. Adele will load the form on the chat now, and you can just complete the form and I'll respond to you as to a time and day. All right.
Ma'am, sorry.
Yes.
I haven't received the slides yet that some of the other students have received already.
Post your student number in the chat quickly, and I will send you a separate email.
Adele, I also haven't received them yet.
Really?
Yes. And then another thing, I tried going into where you said there was the direct link towards this for the sessions, but it says you need permission to access this list.
Danae, I lost you in the beginning. Just try again.
So I also haven't received the slides that's been sent out, and then as well I tried going into the direct link that you just posted on the chat, but it says yeah, you need permission to access this list.
Okay, I'm going to try and replace that link after the session. Let me just go and see what's wrong with it. Oh, you're getting the same. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I will quickly go into my unique and grab that link. Okay.
Okay,
And
because it also says like we can ask for permission, but I don't know to who is going to be sent it.
No, I'll just rather paste you the direct link.
Okay.
Just a few moments and then you can come back to the chat. It will be there. Okay.
All good. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Ma'am, and what time are we meeting on Thursday?
We're meeting at 17:30 normal time.
Thank you.
All right, pleasure.
Danae, just post your student number again as well and ask for the notes, please.
Okay,
Anyone
we'll do so
hasn't
quickly.
received the notes, just post your student number, please.
I wanted to ask, has everyone received their grouping, the students?
Yes, but not yet at which specific time we will be writing the exam.
And where did you get where you are grouped?
So I just go into Google, I type in my exams, and then you go in, you log in your details, and then there will be an icon in the right-hand side, sites, and you go in there, and then you'll see BTE, and then whatever letter of the alphabet's behind BTE, that's in which group you will be.
Oh, let me just quickly do that. X. Is anyone in group X?
I'm A. Think of
Oh my
me.
goodness. So far away from me. I'm right at the end. Please, anyone. I just want to know, like, because when I struggle to get in or download the paper, so that I at least have someone to say, yes, I'm also struggling, or no, you're the only one struggling. That's the only thing I want to know.
All right. Thank you, students, and have a good night. See you on Thursday.
Thank you, Portia, and sorry for not being able to answer. I clearly need to study more.
Pleasure. I understand.
Thank you, Portia.
Pleasure, Danielle.
Is anyone perhaps on my UNISA at the moment?
I am.
Danae, is that you?
Yes. Yes, it is me. I am
I
on
want
it.
to grab the link of the recordings under the Writing Center. If you go to the Western Cape, doesn't want to allow me into my UNISA.
Let me just get there.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Western Cape, and then which one?
Region. Then is it
Tutorial classes, digital learning,
Writing Center?
Writing Center.
Yeah. And then it's the schedule, and in the schedule you'll find the tab for recordings for BTE.
Just give me a second. So there is the first session on the 12th of November, then the second session on the 19th November, and then the 26th November is the third session. So there's 3 sessions. I've got all of them here. I'll quickly copy
Now what
this
you
and
do is
paste.
you could click on any. Did you open it in the browser?
Yes.
Okay, so just copy the link in that browser and then paste it in the chat for us, please.
Okay, I just did that. Maybe if you can just have a look, if you can get in there.
All right. Can anyone click on that link? I think there's something wrong with Teams because I couldn't open the previous link either. If anyone clicks on this link in the chat.
I'll just click on it. I'll see if it takes me to the same place. Yes, it does.
Yes?
So then
Okay.
it should be fine.
Okay, great.
Yes, the link works.
Thank you, Evelyn, as well. Okay, ladies, then I'll see you next week. Thursday, in the last session. Thank you, Portia.
Pleasure, Del, and thank you to you